If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
And we're back. And one of these breaks, I'll actually know that we're going into the break. Got caught off guard again. Just not listening to the music. Not listening for the music. I don't know. Are you there, John?
I am here.
Oh, okay. you were so quiet towards the end of that break, and I was like, wait a minute, did he leave? Now am I gonna have to do the show by myself? Like Lou did the other night? I don't really want to do that. Anyway, so yeah, I think when I got so rudely cut off by the market that time, I was reiterating the point that, you know, a lot of these things that we were talking about, just, you know, they wouldn't have been possible 5, 10, 15 years ago. And that's why I think it's so imperative to kind of just keep, pointing out to people, like you said, like I've said, in a lot of these different areas, that it's not too late for a lot of these things. And, especially if you're someone who maybe not necessarily is, an anarchist or thinking in that line, but even if you're just like completely disenfranchised with government at this point, like so many people seem to be, all these other avenues are, along with, giving you the opportunity to, share your content and make a little money for it and stuff like that. It's just giving you more freedom and, decentralizing things to a much greater extent, which just overall, I think, helps the, helps the overall cause of freedom. So I think that's a good thing too. And then hopefully by being connected, because I know, going back to what we started with all this with like Steemit, I know Steemit seemed to be at the beginning, it seemed to be, like you said, it was like pretty big with the cryptocurrency, the crypto world and stuff like that. But it definitely seemed to, a lot of anarchists seemed to, or, freedom-minded individuals seemed to flock there, and it definitely seemed to be overrun with them for a while, which I think is a great thing. But any of these stuff, and like now with DTube too, I think you're going to see a lot of people start shifting there, especially with as many people who, again, not necessarily even freedom-minded individuals, just people who were making some kind of living on YouTube, who have now all of a sudden become demonetized for whatever.
It's happened across the board, man. Like even the most innocuous type material content on YouTube has been taken a significant hit on how much they're getting paid.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter where where they're coming from, but the people are going to be looking for another avenue, and if they're flocking to these avenues that already are kind of relatively heavily populated with people of, say, our persuasion, I think it's just all for the better, because not only are people going to be getting what they want, essentially, going to a platform is, the reason they used YouTube in the first place was to monetize their stuff and, get paid for it, essentially. And now that that's being taken away from them, people are going to look for other avenues to do that. And
well, that's kind of...
I was just gonna say, if on their way there they happen to run into a lot more people who have a lot more ideas of, like, say, ours, who can kind of like influence them as they start to saturate these different markets, I think that's all the better for us too, man.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, and I think that, like, with a lot of these helpful platforms and that are being available to people, or things that are making people money that anarchists are involved with, I feel like normal people are starting to look over, and it's like, oh, they're not in the middle of the street setting dumpsters on fire anymore. Wow, they are rich now, and they're creating these things that can make me rich too. Maybe they have some decent ideas.
Well, yeah, the crypto, people will joke about the Bitcoin millionaires and stuff, but, there are quite a number of people who have made a, decent amount of coin. And yeah, it's predominantly from people who think a lot like us. So yeah, I think this is going to open a lot of doors, Virgil Vaduva, the guy who created Cell 411, great example of that, and he's out there convincing people all the time because, he's connecting with not just anarchists, but people all over the world in all different ideologies because of the product he's putting out. So get cell411.com, by the way. But all right, so this time I hear the music, so I know we're going into the break. And this is the long one. So we will be back in the second hour. Arms.
Music for the drive to Alpha Centauri. Neptunia's influences are Gary Newman, Brian Eno, Pink Floyd, David Bowie, Led Zeppelin, Grateful Dead, Frank Zappa, Robert Fripp, Blondie, Kraftwerk, and Dead Kennedys. Neptunia's styles are trip hop, rock, pop, glam, industrial, ambient, jazz, and space. Plus, it's got cats and is covered by the Bipcot No-Gov license. You can download Biptunia's music free. Go to biptunia.com. That's BIPTUNIA. Bravo, India, Papa, Tango, Uniform, November, India, Alpha. Biptunia.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm. LRN.FM. You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm. This is the Liberty Radio Network at lrn.fm. More Freedom Fiends Live is coming up next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, lrn.fm.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, January 7th, 2018. Silver is trading at $17.22 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,320 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $55, and the average price of Bitcoin is $16,487. Antiwar.com reports an emergency meeting at the UN Security Council on the subject of a week-long protest in Iran saw a series of speeches, including the U.S. reiterating its previous public statements, backing demonstrators and threatening Iran, and other nations wondering why this was worth an emergency meeting. French Ambassador Francois Delattre insisted the Iran protest had nothing to do with the international peace and security, warning against attempts to exploit this crisis for personal ends, which many see as a rebuke directed at the United States. Russian Ambassador Vasily Nebenzia was even more frank, saying the meeting amounted to the U.S. abusing its position at the UN to mess with Iran, and noting the United Nations did not have an emergency meeting after the U.S. crackdowns in Ferguson. Iran insisted the matter was an internal affair, not something for the UN to weigh in on, and China agreed with their ambassador, calling it purely a domestic issue. There is no sign there was any interest beyond the U.S. for taking any action at the meeting. After the meeting adjourned, Russia agreed to closed-door talks on what they called the American Initiative, but there was no indication that anything has come of that since then.
Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com.
UPI reports Hewlett-Packard has recalled 50,000 lithium-ion batteries for notebook computers and mobile workstations, according to a news release. The batteries can overheat and pose fire and burn hazards, according to a statement released on Thursday by the United States Consumer Product and Safety Commission. The computer company received 8 reports of battery packs overheating, melting, or charring, including 3 reports of property damage totaling $4,500. One incident included a first-degree burn to the person's hand. The batteries were sold from December 2015 through December 2017 at Best Buy, Amazon, and HP.com, and other stores and authorized dealers nationwide. They were shipped in notebook computers and mobile workstations and also purchased separately. HP is urging consumers to check the website hp.com/go/battery program 2018 to see if their battery is included in the recall. The website has instructions about what to do if the battery is included in the recall, including how to enable battery safe mode. According to the news release, batteries will be replaced for free by authorized technicians.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports the author of a book that is highly critical of Donald Trump's first year as U.S. president said his revelations were likely to bring an end to Trump's time in the White House. Michael Wolff told BBC Radio that his conclusion in Fire and Fury inside the Trump White House that Trump is not fit to do the job was becoming a widespread view. Wolff said in the interview broadcast on Saturday, "I think one of the interesting effects of the book so far is a very clear emperor has no clothes